Hey everybody, sorry if it's a doo-doo quality video. I mean, what the hell, I'm driving home and it's like all of a sudden it's dark this week. I mean, what's up with that, you know? It's kind of pissing everybody off. I guess the time change, and now I gotta drive home in the dark. But anyway, I wanted to talk about, I know it might be a little late, a couple days late to the party or whatever, about this Texas coach that was filmed like going off on his players in the bus, because everybody was kind of talking about. I mean, that dude was pissed off. He was yelling because Texas this past weekend got actually like beat pretty bad by Iowa State, and Iowa State, you know, they got some good talent on there, but they're not like some kind of world beaters. Definitely something Texas should have beat, and Texas has been in a bad way the past few weeks. They keep blowing leads. It's like they lead every week at halftime and then blow it. And anyway, it's like they're there, but they have the talent, but some reason have a problem following through. And these damn coaches, I guess, don't have enough, because he was freaking out. I mean, he was like, if any of you haven't seen the video, go watch it. The dude is just losing his mind on him, on the players. And the players that, you got to remember, this is a first-year head coach, Sarkisian, and his staff coming, and this D-line coach has come from Alabama. So apparently the Texas players were laughing and stuff, and after getting blown out like that, and it set him off. And honestly, I don't blame him. I'm not here to provide any take that nobody's already said. I'm going to roll with the majority on this one when I think the coach is justified. And I feel strongly about this too. I mean, my coaches in the day were assholes, and they would just be such dicks, and I hated it. And it's not even just, I mean, you know, I was never like an amazing football player, but it even applies to like at work. You know, when I first started working in construction when I was 18, I sucked. I was lazy, you know, and I don't want to be there, and I took it for granted. I had a good job, and I took it for granted. And so they put me with this guy, this boss, this foreman, and he was such an asshole. And he was a Marine, and he just reamed me all day and like hammered it into me, like his crazy, you know, standards and everything. And I hated it at the time, but you know what? I went through, like, it sucked. It was like hell for like a month and a half straight. Not one day off. It was 7 days a week. 12-hour days, 7 days a week. And for a month and a half. And I came out better. I hated it at the time, but I came out better because of it. Sometimes, you know, that's just what you need, man. That's just what you need is some tough love. Somebody tell you the truth. Because honestly, I'm not like an old man. I'm 24. I'm not a freaking old man shaking my fist at the sky saying, these damn kids. But I just feel like a lot of them are soft these days. And I'm not like, I was one of them. I don't consider myself so anymore. But, you know, looking back on myself when I was 18 or whatever, I was a head ass, and I needed somebody to yell at me like that and just be a dick, and you know, it's good for you. It's good for you, because I went through it and I come out better because of it. And I think that a lot of college football and football in general is like player focused now, and a lot of the players or the coaches, you know, because the players choose to go to the college that they're going to. They don't. So, you know, if a player doesn't like the way he's treated, he can hit the transfer portal, then you lost a good player. But, so I think a lot of coaches nowadays are like scared to kind of really go off on, I don't know. And a lot of them try to be friends with the players. And that just doesn't always get the job done, man. I mean, look at, you know, Nick Saban in Alabama. I mean, this dude just is hot from Alabama. He was just there last year. Bo Davis, I think the coach's name was. And you've seen Saban just tear into players and his coordinators too during games and everything. You see it on the sideline. Imagine how it is in practice during the week, you know? So, and I honestly wish my coach would do that at Georgia Tech. Jeff Collins, he's like a friendly players guy, you know? I've never seen him tear into a player. I've seen him yell at the refs or whatever, which I like. I like it when a coach gets mad and shows emotion. I like it, you know, not flying off the handle like crazy, but it shows that they care, you know? Like, if they're sitting there on the sideline getting mad as I am, because I get pissed off when I'm watching the games. I care about the football team too, and I want them to do good, and I get pissed off when they don't do good. And it is nice to see the coach also pissed off when and then you feel the same way. You know what I mean? You're feeling the same as the coach. The coach wants your team to get better. You get pissed off. And, you know, when you clap it up and you're hugging your players and stuff, sometimes you got to drill into them, man. I'm not like some sage wisdom. You know, I know what I am. I'm 24. But you know, I've had enough experience to know that it's just a little tough love is good for you. And I think a lot of it's gone around lately too. And there is sometimes, you know, a fine line. Well, you got to be mindful of what you're doing in public. There's a couple instances I can think of similar stuff like this. Jimmy Lake got hit or got suspended for a game, the Washington coach, because I think one of his players on like a kickoff return or something, he started like fighting with the other team, and Jimmy Lake come out pissed off as hell, and he like smacked him in the back of the helmet or something like that and was pushing him back to stop fighting with the other guy, and he got suspended for a game for that. And you know, I'm not so sure about that. You know, even if they do have their helmet on, I don't know if you want to damn go and push them around, but or hitting them or anything like that. I mean, but you know, because it can get, you know, you don't want to mess around with a freaking player. Once you get physical with them, then it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Well, you know, make them run laps and yell their freaking ear off and everything, but maybe not get physical, because that's kind of crossing a line. Even if they do, I've seen people be like, well, you know, they're padded up. Yeah, sure, they're padded up and everything, and he probably hurt his hand more than he hurt, you know, the player helmet. But I don't know. I think you probably just shouldn't get physical like that, especially in public. And also, another thing that kind of happened lately, or that's been talked about, is Ed Orgeron. And not recent comments, but back in the day when he had the locker room talk, and he was like, they were about to play Bama. It was in the 2019 season. And he was like, Roll Tide, what? F you. And that's like, and then a player recorded that and leaked that. And by the way, the players that record that stuff and leak it, that's low down. Why would you do that? It gives first of all, it pisses off the other team. And surely every team does it. People act like it's some kind of revelation that they're like, oh my God, Ed Orgeron's in here talking like that to his team. Yeah, you got to get them hyped up. It's the problem is that the player that recorded it, and then it was brought up to Ed Orgeron, and he basically said, you know, that shouldn't have got out. He didn't really apologize for doing it, and he shouldn't have. And people were pointing out, like, well, he didn't really apologize for doing it. He apologized that he got caught. Well, yeah, I wouldn't apologize for doing it either. Every freaking team does it. I would be sorry that it got out, that one of my players that I'm trying to get hyped up for a game would record that and leak it. That's just that's a trust thing, I think, and maybe even a culture thing. You know, what happens between the team, that stuff stays in there in the locker room. You know, so but at the same time, now they're also, so you can say that stuff in the locker room, and I think that's fair game and everything. But after they did beat Alabama at Alabama's stadium at their home, he came out onto the 50-yard line celebrating, and he was like, "This is our house from the," I got to do my Ed Orgeron. "This is our house from now on. Every year we're gonna," he said some crazy shit like, "We own this place now," or something like that. Okay, that's, you got to take accountability for that, because you're on the 50-yard line and you're now saying to the world, you just upset Alabama, the best freaking team ever, and you're now saying to the whole world that you're basically talking shit. And I get that you're heated up in the moment, you're excited and you're stoked, but I mean, you got to kind of watch that stuff, because it can come out and bite you. So that definitely pissed him off. But yeah, anything said in the locker room to hype your team up or whatever, that shouldn't be held against you. And so, man, I just wanted to get on here and talk about this Bo Davis guy. Hell, I'll have him come coach at Georgia Tech. That'd be a good coach to have. But no, I actually like our D-line. Our D-line is probably one of our best units on defense. Definitely our best unit. Well, probably our linebackers are better. Anyway, Bo Davis is a guy I would want to have coaching my players, because you got to get in their ass sometimes. You got to get on them, or else they'll start slacking off. It's tough love. It's discipline. They do in the Army and stuff. So, a lot of the freaking college football players these days are pretty soft. But, oh hell, it's starting to rain. But I think I've done rambled on about this long enough. So, all right, you guys, go Jackets, and I'll see you next time.